Eleanor Murky, Merck Resource on the AWE network. Welcome. We're talking about Breast Cancer Month prevention. And I have with me today guests from Real Authentic Women, B and Patricia. We're starting out with a conversation with Patricia, who
Mhm.
has experienced breast cancer and want to share that experience with you and how we protect ourselves by being aware and self-examination and not having a problem talking to your doctor about it, because Patricia has a little interesting story about her awareness and how she followed through to make sure she got the care that she needed. Hi, Patricia, and welcome to Merck and AWE Network.
Hi, Eleanor. How are you?
Great.
It's good
I
seeing you.
Wonderful. I know you have this wonderful story and like for you to share that with us.
Yes, actually, I just wanted to say that as women we must take full responsibility for our breast care. As a woman who was 30 and didn't even realize that breast cancer at that time was even near my thought pattern. Um Unfortunately, I didn't even know. That's how easy this disease can creep in on us. But I was 30, about 30, 31, and I did my self breast exam and I found a little knot, but it was nothing to really be concerned about because it was like the size of a eraser. So I
Was
didn't make a
that was
go ahead.
when you say nothing to be concerned about, is that what you thought? It was nothing
Yes.
to be concerned about? Yeah.
Yes. It was like I went to the doctor. She did the usual checkup. She was a little concerned at first, but it was that little. So it wasn't nothing to really, worry about at the time. So then 6 years later, I was 36 and I realized that something was off. I remember being at one of my martial arts classes, and as I was training, I noticed this like electrical feeling went through my arm into my breast, and my breast was sore the whole time, and I didn't really pay it much attention, but I knew something wasn't right. So
Mhm.
what I did was I became proactive, and I called the doctor immediately the next morning, and they sent me to my primary at that time, and then he wasn't too concerned, so he kind of was like, I don't think it's this or that, but I was very aggressive far as like, no, you're gonna find me someone, a specialist who is going to check this
Yes.
more thoroughly. So what he did was he sent me to a specialist at a clinic to get an ultrasound first.
Okay.
So they were basically saying, oh, it's just a cyst. They showed me how it looked on the x-ray, and they didn't make a big deal, but I was having pain,
Uh-huh.
so I knew something wasn't right. So after that I told them I am going to request for a biopsy to be done, and immediately I got that appointment, went in to the specialist, had the biopsy done. Within a week I got a call. I remember I was at the hair salon, and the doctor stated that he wanted to talk to me more privately at the time, but I'm like, no, I can't wait. I'm kind of anxious. You're gonna have to let me know right now. So what he said was it was cancer, and it's very aggressive. And
Mhm.
so I didn't know at that time what to feel, um, or what to think, because I was looking at, I'm 36 and I have breast cancer. Wow. That's the first reaction. I really couldn't cry at the time. I became numb. So it was something I had to digest at that time. Um, but that was just the first process that I had to go through. Um,
Okay. I just wanted to say one thing, as you take the journey, that
mhm,
people need to hear what you're saying
mhm,
because you sound like you were pushing your agenda of health all alone, where your doctors were checking and seeing, but sound like you were the aggressor of what should
mhm.
happen next in terms of not waiting any longer, getting the ultrasound, getting the second check.
Oh yeah. You have to be aggressive because it's your body. And if you don't take care of it, no one else is. And some of these doctors, I'm a stickler for doctors, far as like how much experience they have, far as even their age. How
Oh,
long have they been working in the field? These are questions that you should be asking. Don't just assume because he's a doctor and he's 26 that he knows everything, that he knows about breast care. So you as a woman have to be proactive about your body. And if it doesn't feel right, go with it.
there you go. That's an excellent point. If it doesn't
Yeah.
feel right, do something about it. So what
Yeah.
was the steps? What happened after you discovered that it was, and the other point that it sounds interesting to me, and people should hear it, is when the small, then there was another exam, but by the time you pushed it, it was an aggressive form of breast cancer.
Yes. Um as I pushed it, it was like I didn't even realize how quickly it was spreading in my breast tissue because of the density of the carcinoma, breast cancer. That's the name of it, invasive carcinoma. And that right there is a very aggressive breast cancer pertaining to us women of color. It's just like that. Why I can't answer that, but the one thing I do know is that one of the things you have to do is, like I said, you have to be on top of it. You have to your spiritual life, mind, body, and spirit have to align. It's a daily walk because I did do treatment. I did sign up for it. I took a moment to think about it first before I dived in and said this is what I was going to do. Um but it's definitely a mental fight. It's definitely
I
a
can
mental fight,
imagine.
but you can pull through it. And the thing is, a lot of people, you listen to people outside of yourself, they're around you looking pitiful and sad. I'll say this, don't surround yourself with those type of people when you're going through such a tumultuous disease as cancer. So, um, however, I went through my treatment for 14 weeks, chemotherapy. I didn't do radiation. The doctor said I didn't need it. Um, Went through that, came out of that, and I think it was September 2010, and I've recovered these last 10 years, and it's a process. It's a process because you change. You change as a person. Um, you change emotionally. You change mentally. Everything changes. The old you definitely goes away. So now you're this new person because I know I'm a new person and a lot of people don't understand me. And it's okay. It's really okay.
Uh, you said a couple of things I think it's important about when you're going through this experience, who you surround yourself with, who you allow inside of this circle of discovery and recovery. You know,
Well,
you're,
well, it was mainly family and my kids.
Maybe I need to back
during
up and say the attitude of those around
oh
you.
the attitude.
Hmm.
Yeah, the attitudes around me, um, I appreciated the fact that it was laughter, because in laughter is healing.
Yes,
So I do know that the attitude had to definitely be on point. If it wasn't on point, I'm not the person you want to be around because it's not positive.
yeah,
So, and I refuse to not come through it positively. You know, it was a fight, and I don't want to fight with negativity. You know, I already
and
had a negative result. I don't want to continue being that way and feeling like, oh, something's gonna happen. No, that's anxiety and fear. And I always, as you ladies know, flipping fear to faith. That's a
Mhm.
yes, about that.
one time shot. So that's where I stood, and that's where I always will stand. That faith always moves beyond our fears.
Okay, and that's how we pull in gratitude when we talk about breast cancer awareness, or any challenges that we have. That how you can tie and find something to be grateful for in all things and situations. And what I want to do at this point is bring B, the creator of Real Authentic Women. She's joined us. B, any comments on this wonderful, when I say wonderful story, attitude that Patricia has brought to her experience of breast cancer?
Wow, it is so heartfelt because I just want to thank you first for inviting us to share in this. It's a very personal and emotional topic, and gratitude to be able to have gratitude at the end of such a death, a death, and also a life changing disease that could be introduced to you or family or friends. And I just want to say, just listening to Patricia's, I call it a testimony because she is blessed because she's one of the million people who have survived cancer and can tell the
Yes.
story, and be able to enlighten us. And the reason why I find even more gratitude in listening to her story is because it's personal to me because she's my niece. And I was able to participate with her as she went through that recovery, from being diagnosed with cancer. So I sat with her in when she went to the hospital for the chemo treatment. I just saw her as she transitioned through that process, like she talked about, it was, she had her moments, but through laughter, and laughter is, the Bible said, is good like a medicine, and it does. If you can laugh and you can find hope in conversations with the people that you love, it makes the journey more tolerable. So, I definitely felt very emotional and heartfelt when I heard her, and I am aware of cancer because of her being a family member, and she survived cancer. I'm also aware of cancer because I had a sibling who did not survive cancer, and a host of families and friends who share the same story. So it's really important, like you're doing, Eleanor, is to raise the awareness of breast cancer because not only does it affect women, but it affects men, it affects children. And so we need to, especially as a Black community, really support the screenings that are available to us. And they have a National Cancer Society. They also have websites that you can go to and learn more about all the treatments and therapies that they have, and ways to live a lifestyle, like Pat talked about. It changed her as a person. It changed some of her health choices and food. It changed, in regards to yoga and meditation, things that she could bring into her life, in your life, to decrease the level of stress because stress is definitely a root of sickness too. So I'm just grateful to be able to share in the conversation with you. and just really press upon people to make sure that you're having these conversations not only within your community and your family, but with your doctor, and making sure that you take ownership of your own health as well.
Absolutely. And I think, because that's the most impressive thing that Patricia was saying, is that, from this little small something like the size of
Mhm.
an eraser head till it came again to be something that really got her attention with
Mhm.
that semi electrical shock. And
Mhm.
that is with all of our medical concerns and care. We have to be the first person, like to tell the story.
Mhm.
And when you tell your story to your doctor or healthcare person, you really have to push the envelope. When you still feel something, when somebody say it's okay, and you're still feeling another kind of way, if
Mhm.
you have to go explore and get someone else to do
That's
it,
true.
because that is um, really important. Uh, People of color, and I can say it myself with some experiences, we have the tendency to overlook uh,
Yes.
things in our bodies. And this breast cancer, I mean, cancer is pretty big. Breast cancer has become a really common thing. And for all these efforts to pick a month of celebration, using pink to remind ourselves. I see you got pink behind you. Um,
Yes.
yeah, to have something, because we need these things to remind us. We
Mhm.
need everybody on board, and I am grateful for all the different outlets where we
Mhm.
have an opportunity to talk about this. And
Yes.
the AWE network is an excellent platform.
Mhm.
And I know people are listening, but if you want to tell your friends, if you happen across the radio station and you're like, what am I listening to? It's
Mhm.
awenetwork.com
Mhm.
is something. And then and I probably don't have the whole group correctly, but if you go to Facebook, there's an AWE book, I mean AWE group, and they really look out on all aspects of empowering women. And empowerment is taking control of
That's
our
true.
lives, and through
Absolutely.
through all things, big, we still see gratitude, being thankful for
Yes.
all things. And I even say now, I've had pain. I'm not sure what the pain of breast cancer is
Mhm.
or going through that. But when I was going through, I was thinking, I'm still grateful because I'm feeling the pain. There are people who have pain that don't feel it. There are people
Mhm.
who have experiences and don't know it. So
Mhm.
gratitude remains the key to all aspects of one's life. You got any comments on that, or as we come to almost a close?
Yeah, well, when you said that some people are not aware of the pain, you just made me think that I do have a family member who is in a state of coma, and they're not aware maybe of their pain, but to the extent that you would be fully conscious. So it does make a difference if you're aware of your pain. Then that tells you that I need to get something, I need to get tested, or there's something off in my body. So I need to make sure that what that is, and get some tests. So yeah, that is important that you are aware of the pain, and that is a sense that you can now move forward in identifying what that pain is a result of, and then you can get help for that. So I never really thought about it like that until you said that, and so you prompt me to think beyond. Yes, yeah, it is something to be grateful that you can feel, because if
Yes.
you can't feel, if you're so numb that you can't feel and be aware, then it's hard for you to advocate for yourself because you're not addressing it, because you're not aware that it's there. So all these little things that we take for granted, or that we might think are a negative, we can flip that around and see the positive in that to help us move forward to become our most healthy selves. And
Yes.
just to share the information from your experience to someone else that they may not be thinking about, what's out here, what's available, just to share this forum that there are tools and resources available that you can look into. Google, it'll help you get to your next step because awareness is so important.
Yes, and I think that's again, as I mentioned a little early, that empowering women
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
so important because you can be empowered in all areas of your life, all
That's true.
aspects,
Hmm.
and there's nothing more powerful than taking control
Hmm.
of your mental, spiritual, and physical health.
I
That
agree.
is real empowerment.
Hmm.
Uh, B, I'm grateful that you joined us. Anything going on at Raw right now?
Well, we've really been devoted to the food drives and helping people who are food insecure and making sure that we bless them with some words of encouragement. So that has been a focus that I've been involved with in the last few months, is really being ready and aware and present in that area.
Yes,
Of course,
and
with people who call, and they have concerns and they want to talk through those, I'm always available and ready for that as well. Just kind of counseling and coaching that just seems to be innate in me. And then when we have our get-togethers, it's just actually Raw. It's just real, authentic women having a conversation, and it seems like I'm always in that mode.
yes, and when I introduced you, I'm glad you brought it up because I forgot to tell the people that
Hmm.
you are a certified life coach. Now, what
Hmm.
area are you in up there in
I'm in
Michigan?
Michigan. I'm in the Michigan area in like I'm near Southfield, Farmington. All those areas are kind of surrounding where I am, like, and so um, it's Southfield it has a lot of availability for expressways to get to like the Farmington and Birmingham, and so I would say I'm centrally located.
Okay,
And so, I can, and I'm driving all the time, so it's really no area I can't get to. If there's something that I feel is noteworthy there, I can drive there and
okay.
experience some of the seminars and different things they're having in those areas.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Hmm.
Uh, Patricia' story was magnificent.
It
She
was.
had to drop off of she had to drop off for her client. Um,
Hmm.
but I want to thank you. I please screen breast care, breast cancer awareness.
Hmm.
Be aware that
Will be.
it's out there and make sure you be your own physician by
Hmm.
examining yourself. Check with
Hmm.
your local hospital, clinic, or doctor
Hmm.
about how to self exam and to get in on all the free screenings that they have all across the country. And be mindful of your health.
That's
Thank you
true.
for listening again. We are on awenetwork.com. Thank you, and thank you, uh, B, for joining me.
Stay well and stay safe.
Thank you.